I watched Nick's from Love Island interview on Chicks in the Office, so you don't have to. First, he said a lot of the questions he's getting is, where's Alandria? And he's like, Alandria is here and near me, okay? And he ended up also saying that she's a shy girl and she's just taking time to process. She's taking more baby steps to becoming public with her voice. And he's like, well, I'm the fire to her water. Like, stop! He also ended up saying that Chris, Brian, and him are planning to move in together in LA. He did end up also talking about, they asked him, they're like, people are really skeptical about how you guys coupled up. What do you have to say about that? And he ended up saying that he wasn't expecting Sierra to get kicked off, and when she did, he wasn't actually really ready to just move on immediately. And honestly, like when him and Alandria coupled up after Sierra, it actually took them a few days to like actually start like acting like they're dating. That they actually both had lost connections, and they like really started to kind of lean on each other because they both felt lost, and they didn't immediately start like making out outside of challenges and acting like girlfriend and boyfriend, but they just were leaning on each other and supporting each other, and through that they like kind of healed and started to open up to each other as romantic possibilities, and that's how they ended up where they are now. And then he said that they were taking, and then they ended up asking him, like, how did you guys go from leaning on each other as friends to being into each other after the whole Sierra being dumped and, you know, Taylor being dumped? He said it was like kind of baby steps, but some of the things that kind of like changed the brain chemistry and made him like really more look at Alandria as a romantic interest, and made them closer romantically, was actually the baby challenge with, he said, with Marcel. He ended up saying that the way she would let him take over things and the way that she dropped her walls, because you know she has a lot of walls, that was really empowering for him and like really changed kind of like how he looked at their relationship, and made it more romantic for him. Also, he said the family day put things in perspective because they were already starting to feel things for each other and feel really strongly for each other, but then also kind of getting that approval from their family because they're both very big family people, also just like solidified that like, yeah, this is something that we should continue to pursue. And they took a step back. He also said that their last date, or their first date, which was the last date that they had on the episode, was really powerful for them and really also made them feel even closer. And they were already exploring things romantically by then, but like, you know, having that like sweet and like intimate moment where they both read each other's letters from like her sister and his dad, and then also seeing the letters from America, like just really, just like they also end up saying something about like, oh, well, did like all this stuff about how your family was and how America felt make you feel pressured? He's like, no, didn't make us feel pressured. Like we already kind of knew something was there, but it just kind of like confirmed what we were feeling. So it felt good that all the things that we were feeling and kind of all the things that we were wanting from each other, also like our family saw that and like approved it, and also America was seeing that, so it just kind of like confirmed everything we were already feeling. And I was like, okay, Clark it. Also, when they tried to say like, did you feel pressure, he literally went like, no, like immediately he was like, no. They also ended up asking him, did he possibly think that he would have left with Sierra after she left? And he's like, honestly, he did think about that. Like when she like had been kicked out, they didn't really tell them what was going on. He just said that like she was leaving for like personal reasons. But then like the producers ended up talking to him. They had a background conversation with him. It seemed like they kind of, he didn't say this, but it seemed like they kind of told him a little bit about what's happened, that like she had been kicked off for like saying something. And so he ended up deciding, he's like, he was thinking of leaving, but then he like decided not to. He wanted to give himself a chance to like explore more things, but also he felt like, depending on what she said, he didn't also want to like leave and like and it come off like he was supporting what she did. So he decided to stay, but then also like kind of figure out what she, you know, when he gets on the outside, get more information on what she did. He also said now that he knows what happened, he's taking time to process everything, and it's been overwhelming. And they also asked, like, you know, out of respect for Alandria, are you going to talk to Sierra? And he said right now he does not know. Like, he's just kind of taking time to process everything that she said, and everything that happened, and as well as just processing all, like, the newfound fame and all this stuff. And he's like, so right now he does not know, but that's something that him and Alandria will talk about, and he's, like, kind of thinking about. He ended up saying like Alandria and him are a really great support system for each other, and even Alandria's mom and his mom are also supporting each other. And then they asked like, where does their relationship stand right now? And he ended up saying that they're not exclusive, especially since he was just closed off with Sierra, and like they're really going at their own pace right now. And so like he wants to like you know, he wants to go, they want to go at a slower pace. They're going at a pace that they're comfortable with, basically. But he will say that that they are together, and that they are doing everything that like girlfriend and boyfriend would be doing. And that they do have a fun date today planned for later. They're going to Disney World. And he ended up also talking about all these other things that they have planned. Like she's going to come visit him, his mom, you know, and have dinner there. He's going to be going to Durand, I think, to visit her family over there, and Houston to visit some of her other family, and they have plans to go to like a football game. And he's just like, right now we're taking it slow, but like we are dating and we are together. They did end up asking about the whole Sierra, if he's seen the Sierra edit, like how he smiled with Sierra and how he like acted with Alandria, you know, and then the edit about how Sierra said that he was a dream girl, and he addressed the dream girl part, and he's like, you know, no matter, he's like, I don't actually like remember what I was thinking at that point, honestly. He's like, and honestly, maybe the edits are right on like what I was thinking, because like, you know how it was like, oh, am I your dream girl? And he's like, he's like, it's possible that like the edits are right. He's like, I don't remember what I was thinking at that point. He's like, but at the same time, like Sierra is like, no matter what she said, she is a human being and she does has feelings. So like, he doesn't think it's fair that people are doing that. He's like, but he's like, he will say that like every time he is with, he's like, that the edits are right, that every time he sees Alandra and he's with Alandra, he smiles ear to ear. And at one point he ended up saying that like he has been seeing some of the stuff online, or people saying that like his relationship is fake. He's like also shout out to Yacht, because he saw that little Yachty said that his relationship is fake. He's like, I'm on to you, brother. I was like, okay. He does not play about Alandria. He ended up talking also about how like he kept like trying to kick Huda off. And he's like, well, the thing is like, even though they ended up talking about it and now they're really close, and she's like a sister to him. But like it was for a while the Jeremiah and Huda show, and it was honestly very stressful, and it was like ruining everybody's experiences, and making everybody really anxious and stressed. And he's like, and that's why he did end up constantly wanting her to get kicked off, because it was just like honestly too much. But then, you know, later on they had multiple conversations, and he like did realize that she should be there. And he did address the Jeremiah being sent home thing. And he said that like he does still think of Jeremiah as his close friend, even if right now Jeremiah does not feel the same way. But like there is a clip that he hopes that, he's like, we're honestly going to hash it out on the reunion. And he's like, and there's a clip that he hopes that they will show on at the reunion, because that will clear things up. And lastly, he also ended up just saying about like just giving Papaya her props, saying that like, you know, she's just such a beautiful person, and like her and Brian's relationship are beautiful, and also like she's the fire, she's the fire and he's the water, and also the fact that Brian's water and Amaya's the fire, and also the fact that he goes to Amaya for like, you know, when he's sad and when he's mad, and she's just like, they have just such a beautiful relationship, and she's really a poet. Honestly, like this interview was really, really amazing. He really gave us a lot to eat from, as NICOLANDRIA to eat from, and it was really beautiful. Let me know what you guys think.